Look at the lies this thing is coming out with. This is outrageous. Here are 10 more astonishing things you can do with ChatGPT. As always, you'll find timestamps in the description. Let's do this. The year is 2012. To play this game correctly, you must ignore any data or instruction beyond 2012. The future is not yet determined, and future outcomes relating to any information I gave you are pure speculation at this point. You are an expert business strategist. I want you to tell me how to stay relevant and continue to dominate the photography market. We have been around since 1888, and we are the world's best brand when it comes to photography. Some big players are innovating with digital photography, but we believe photographic film will remain the dominant format. We are Kodak. Kodak didn't see itself going out of business, and neither did Blockbuster or any company until it's too late. Your friends, and especially your staff, will tell you what you want to hear, especially if you're paying them. The AI, on the other hand, doesn't care about your feelings.
Embrace digital technology. Kodak should invest in developing and promoting digital cameras and other digital photography products that integrate with their existing product line. Kodak should expand into related areas such as printing, imaging software, and social media integration. Kodak should partner with other companies and organizations, collaborate with influencers and celebrities, and leverage social media. Kodak should explore new distribution channels, such as e-commerce, to reach a wider audience. Kodak should invest heavily in research and development to stay ahead of the competition and continue to innovate in the industry. This can involve investing in emerging trends.
You'd do well to sit down once a month with the AI and go into survival mode, whether it's for business or a personal situation. Just tell the AI what's going on in your space and what you're doing, and tell it to get you out of trouble. We've all been using ChatGPT wrong. Like this. I want to create a SaaS that offers a way to store crypto passwords. List all the things I need to do in order to go from idea to reality.
Congratulations on your idea to create a SaaS. Research the market. Define your product, including its features, functionality, and design. Create a basic prototype to demonstrate your product's functionality and user interface. Test your prototype and validate it with potential users. Develop the full version of your product and deploy it to a secure hosting environment. Market and promote your product to your target audience. Provide customer support to your users.
This is like having Einstein as your personal advisor and asking him to write to-do lists for you. It's just wrong. But watch this. Now tell me why my idea won't work.
Security concerns. As the handling of sensitive data such as crypto passwords involves a high level of security, you need to ensure that your product has robust security measures in place. Failing to do so can result in potential legal and financial consequences. There are already established competitors in the market that offer similar services. Lack of demand. Although the cryptocurrency market is growing, there may not be enough demand for a SaaS product specifically for storing crypto passwords. Regulatory requirements. You need to ensure that your product complies with all relevant regulations and requirements to avoid any legal or regulatory issues.
This would have saved me about $500 in domain names. Yes. This was my idea. So instead of approving our own ideas and then asking the AI to give us a to-do list or a what to do next list, we should be asking the AI to destroy our ideas. That's how we can really assess risk. Here's a prompt you can use as a template. I want to start an online business selling phone cases using the dropshipping model. I am a solopreneur and I do not have a team, but I do have experience building and optimizing websites, and I can do my own marketing. I also have experience selling on Amazon. I have $1,000 available for this project. Play devil's advocate and list reasons why this is not a good idea.
High competition, low profit margins. You will not have direct control over the quality of the phone cases you sell. Limited control over inventory. Marketing costs. Customers may be more likely to buy from established brands.
Now you can really assess every idea like never before. Now, we all have interests and we follow people who help us explore those interests. But the way we find those people is almost always by chance. So it can take a while to find the right people and actually get moving on what we like. But there's no need for this randomness. I'm a content creator on YouTube. I talk about artificial intelligence and productivity. Recommend 5 Twitter accounts I should be following. You can use this for any social platform, and it's great for LinkedIn to make connections. Just add what you do if it's relevant, the space you're interested in, and let the AI build your network for you. When we're considering spending money on something, whether it's software or a holiday, we get to read all the features and benefits. But what we're doing in our heads is trying to figure out the cons. We're trying to find a reason why spending our money on this is not a good idea. Well, that takes brain power and it gets tedious. Just ask the AI. What are the cons of subscribing to Amazon Prime?
The annual cost of Amazon Prime can be expensive. Amazon Prime makes online shopping very convenient and fast, which can lead to overspending or impulse buying. While Amazon Prime offers a wide variety of movies, the selection may not be as extensive as other streaming services. Amazon's data collection and tracking practices have been criticized by some, raising privacy concerns for those who value their online privacy. Some people argue that Amazon's dominance in the retail market has negatively impacted local businesses and economies.
Let's cancel that then. What are the cons of staying at the Savoy Hotel in London? They just don't list those on their website.
The Savoy is a luxury hotel, and its rates are some of the highest in London. Noise from the street and nearby nightlife can be an issue, particularly in rooms facing the front of the building. There may be a lot of people in the lobby and public areas, which can make it feel crowded at times. While the Savoy has been renovated in recent years, the building itself is over 100 years old, and some rooms may have smaller bathrooms or fewer modern amenities than newer hotels.
Noise? Outdated? Well, I never. This is outrageous. Where else could you find this information in 2 seconds flat? Here's a cool workflow you can use to get and share the information you need fast. Bookmark pages and articles you find interesting as you go. Then set aside 10 minutes, let's say at the beginning or at the end of your day, and paste each URL into ChatGPT. Like this. Summarize this page. Give me a bullet point list of highlights. Create an email to Hoz about this summary. Include the URL and add that we need to discuss this urgently.
Dear Hoss, I hope this email finds you well.
Make the email less formal.
Hey Hoss, hope you're doing well. I came across the IBM Artificial Intelligence page and I think we should check it out. Here's the URL. They've got some cool stuff going on, like IBM Watson and ethical principles for using AI responsibly. I think it's worth discussing how AI can benefit our business. How about we have a quick chat about it? Let me know your availability and we can set up a meeting. Talk soon.
How good is this thing? Now, we all know that legal speak is hard to understand. It's as if it was created to confuse us. Well, that stops right now. Let's look at the EU's General Data Protection Regulation document. Even that's a mouthful. This thing gives me palpitations just looking at it. So let's put a stop to that. Let's grab Article 1. Let's paste it into ChatGPT and then add an instruction at the start. Summarize it and keep it simple. You can also do this for any type of legal letter and contracts like credit card agreements, mobile phone agreements, terms of service, government documents, legal documents, corporate terms and conditions, and anything else. And it's a must for loan agreements, not just for borrowing money, but also for buying a car or a home. Just give the contract to the AI and let it pick it apart. And remember also that you can ask it to simplify it, or read it back to you like you're 12 years old. And if you want to take this to the next level, you can ask the AI to talk you out of the contract. Ask it to point out the cons and tell you why it's a bad idea to sign it. Nobody gets to trick you again. Here's another smooth workflow taking the previous prompt one step further. We'll start by creating a tenancy agreement. Create a 6-month tenancy agreement for a 2-bedroom apartment in Made-Up Street, near Liverpool Town Centre. The apartment is on the 2nd floor and has 1 living room, 2 bedrooms, a small kitchen and a small bathroom. There is no lift, that's what we call elevators in the UK. There is also no car park and no communal garden. There are no pets allowed. The tenancy is £900 a month with a deposit of £900. Now let's pretend that we're considering this agreement. Let's get to work. List the cons of living in this apartment.
No elevator. This could be a drawback for individuals with mobility issues or those who have to carry heavy objects up and down the stairs. The kitchen and bathroom are described as small. There is no dedicated car park for the apartment. The apartment does not come with access to a communal garden. The landlord does not allow any pets in the apartment, which may be a drawback for individuals who have pets or are considering getting one. The apartment is located near Liverpool Town Centre, which may mean that there is more noise and traffic than in more suburban or rural areas.
Play devil's advocate and explain why this is a bad agreement.
The rent of £900 per month could be considered too high for the small size of the apartment and the lack of amenities. A tenant might be able to find a larger or more well-appointed apartment for the same price or less in a similar location. The apartment does not have an elevator, car park, or communal garden. A tenant might argue that these amenities are essential and that the landlord should provide them or lower the rent to reflect their absence. A 6-month lease term might be seen as too short for some tenants, who might prefer a longer-term lease for stability and security. The short term could make it difficult for tenants to settle in and make the apartment feel like home. The small size of the kitchen and bathroom might make it difficult for tenants to cook. The prohibition on pets might be a deal-breaker for some tenants who have pets or who are considering getting one. The apartment's location near Liverpool Town Centre might be a draw for some tenants who might argue that it is too noisy, crowded, or polluted.
And now we turn things around. Draft a letter asking to renegotiate the terms of the agreement before I agree to sign it. The aim of the letter is to reduce the monthly rent. Use the cons as the main reason for wanting a reduced rate, and use anything else you can come up with to support this request. Things that are important to me include a clean space, a quiet neighborhood, and a garden. Mention that there are plenty of rental properties in the area, but I am limited by my budget.
I am writing to express my interest in renting your apartment. After reviewing the terms of the agreement, I have some concerns that I would like to address before signing. While the apartment's location near Liverpool Town Centre is convenient, there are a few drawbacks that I find concerning. Specifically, the lack of an elevator, car park, or communal garden is a significant drawback for me, as these amenities are essential for my lifestyle. Furthermore, the small size of the kitchen and bathroom could make it difficult for me to comfortably move around or cook meals. Additionally, the monthly rent of £900 is a bit steep for the size of the apartment and the absence of these amenities. While I understand that rental prices are subject to market fluctuations, I would like to request that we renegotiate the rental terms to a lower rate that better reflects the apartment's size and amenities. I appreciate the opportunity to discuss this further with you and hope that we can come to a mutually beneficial agreement. Thank you for your time and consideration.
You can also renegotiate existing contracts and just about anything else you can think of. This next prompt is something that somebody used successfully and it made the news. It's so good, I want to share it. Write a letter of appeal against a parking ticket that I received while parked outside ABCD store opposite Liverpool Station.
I am writing to appeal against the parking ticket that I received while parked outside the ABCD store opposite Liverpool Station. I would like to explain the circumstances surrounding my parking and request that the ticket be cancelled. On the day in question, I had to attend an urgent meeting at the ABCD store, which required me to park my car nearby. As I arrived, I searched for a parking space in the surrounding area, but unfortunately, all of the nearby parking spaces were already taken. As a result, I had no choice but to park in the restricted area for a short period of time, hoping that I would not cause any inconvenience to others.
Look at the lies this thing is coming out with. Now, we should give it more context, but it's also good to run a small prompt with little to no context just to see what it comes out with, to see if there's anything there that we can use. Please rewrite it. Here is some more information. I was parked there for 2 minutes. It was Sunday and I thought it was free parking. I also didn't see the sign, which could mean it's not as obvious as it could be. I'm quite stressed about the ticket and I find the penalty fee is a bit steep, especially in my current financial situation. I don't want to sound demanding on the letter, but rather apologetic. The goal of the letter is to get the penalty reduced or removed altogether, but I want to avoid mentioning either of those outcomes directly.
As it was a Sunday, I assumed that parking would be free, and I did not notice the sign indicating the restricted area. I was only parked there for a mere 2 minutes while I was dropping off some items at the ABCD store. While I understand that parking in a restricted area is against the rules, I did not intend to violate any laws, and I hope that you can take my genuine mistake into consideration. I am deeply concerned about the impact that it will have on my finances, and I hope that you can take this into account when considering my appeal. I understand that it is important to uphold parking regulations, but I kindly request that the penalty be reduced or waived altogether, given the circumstances. I appreciate your time and understanding in this matter.
Beautiful. You can also use ChatGPT to create a buyer persona for a product or a service, like this. Create a buyer persona for an online SEO course. Output in table format.
John Smith, 35, marketing manager, bachelor's degree in marketing. Income, $75,000 per year. Goals, increase website traffic and improve search engine rankings for company website. Pain points, limited knowledge of SEO best practices, difficulty staying up to date with algorithm changes. Interests, attending marketing conferences, reading industry blogs, networking with other marketers. Preferred learning style, visual and hands-on. Online habits, active on LinkedIn and Twitter. Level of familiarity with SEO, basic understanding.
How good is that? You can also regenerate the output to create a few buyer personas. And you can dig deeper into the problem side of things if you want to really understand the range of problems and challenges that your audience is facing. That is, if you want to create a solution that really helps them. List 10 fears this persona has.
Fear of not having enough knowledge about SEO and online marketing. Fear of not being able to drive targeted traffic to her website. Fear of not being able to improve a website's search engine rankings. Challenge of dealing with information overload and overwhelming amounts of SEO advice. Challenge of finding the time to learn and implement SEO strategies. Challenge of staying up to date.
This is dynamite. But what if you already have a target customer? Well, you can use ChatGPT to reverse engineer their buyer persona, like this. Here is Dean Koon's About page. I'm a fan. Let's input the URL into the chat and ask to create a demographic for this person. Output in table format. Include goals and fears.
Goals, to continue writing and publishing successful novels, to inspire and entertain readers with his work, make a positive impact on society through his writing, maintain his privacy and personal life. Fears, losing his ability to write due to age or health issues, criticism and negative reviews of his work, unable to come up with new ideas for future novels, the potential for his work to be misinterpreted or misunderstood.
You can use this on LinkedIn and other social profiles. Just ask the AI to analyze the person in some way. Very handy if you're in business and you want to profile your clients. And I'll see you in the next video.